But we're going to start right out with our first guest, and we're going to be speaking with Chris Trow. He's way at the end there, and then in the middle we have Sky, and then right next to me is Megan. Megan Griesmer just returned. You've just returned, right, from your trip. Sky is getting ready to go, and Chris, you're the cheerleader, right?
I'm the cheerleader, yes.
Yeah, and you're on the board of the.
I'm the admiral.
The admiral. Yeah. Okay, good. Where's your hat?
I got to get one. Yeah.
You got to get the admiral's hat. Megan, what was it like to? Now, first of all, why don't we ask Chris, what is a class afloat, and then we're going to find out from Megan what her experience was.
Okay, class afloat is a school on a tall mast sailing ship. It's a Canadian school, and it's been around for 32 years, and they have a school for first-year university students and also for grade 11 and grade 12.
Oh, okay.
It's a Canadian school. It sails out of a Canadian. It's a Canadian school, but it sails out of Amsterdam in the Netherlands, and
that's where they start.
That's where the ship starts, and that's generally where.
So
it
they
ends.
have to fly there.
They have to fly there.
Yeah,
so
okay.
Now these kids are sponsored by my foundation, the Class Afloat Foundation USA. And they are graduates of the Schenectady High School, and for the most part, they're part of the Sponsor a Scholar program in the Schenectady High School.
Okay, and there is a charge for it, right? There's a charge to go into this program.
And in the case of these kids, these kids get a free ride.
Scholarship.
And it's a scholarship from Class Afloat Foundation
Wonderful.
USA, and we pay for their 2 terms on the ship. So they get on the ship in September, and they're done around about the end of May, early June, if they do the 2 terms.
So it's a full year.
Full year, and they're taking academic classes, first-year university classes.
Is this a substitute for being at the high school, or is this?
Well, no, these kids are all graduates.
Or what?
The kids that my foundation is sending are all graduates of Schenectady High School.
Oh, so this is the interim year between college and high school.
Yeah, and they get credits for their year of university courses that they do while they're at school.
Oh, that's good.
It's associated with Acadia University in Nova Scotia, Canada. Okay. And so it's very, very good university. It's a very international school. So that's where their professors are, but they're on the ship, and they do it's a distance learning model.
Okay.
And so they're studying their academic classes, and then they're also learning about sailing. They're visiting cities around the world, around the Atlantic, so they're sailing in the Atlantic. And so there's a lot of dimensions to the experiences that they have. The kids on the ship, there's as many as 60 kids on the ship, and the kids are from around the world.
And so they get to meet a lot of different people too, right? I mean, from different countries. Did we have the map up? I was going to say, if we had the map up, we could kind of just take a quick look to what that was, the trip is. I'm not sure whether.
Yeah, so they cross the Atlantic.
There's the map,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, they cross the Atlantic twice. They cross the equator twice, and this year, the year coming up, they're going to be going into the Mediterranean for a little bit.
And they go to South Africa, and they go
last year, the cruise went all the way down to Buenos Aires and then Cape Town, and so they did get to see the Southern Atlantic. This year, they're not. They're going to spend some time in the Mediterranean.
Oh, okay.
So there's only so much time in 9 months, and so they don't always go to the South Atlantic, but they do cross the equator. They go to Senegal. They'll be spending 2 days in Senegal, and that'll be part of that. Will be a homestay with a family in Senegal.
So they leave the ship.
They absolutely leave the ship, yes, and it's all very well supervised when they leave the ship. So there's usually port programs. When they get to a port, there's a port program. Something's been organized that they do while they're there. And they also get some free time as well in the port, but it's.
Well, let's go to Megan and find out, what was this like, Megan? Was it everything you expected? Because Sky's going to have to find out about it.
Yeah, it was everything I expected and more, to be honest. It was the best year of my life, but also like the most stressful.
So far.
Yeah, so far. But I find it hard to believe that something will be this life-changing and this amazing. Yeah.
No, you're probably right.
Yeah. So it changed me a lot. I'm definitely a different person than I was last year. I'm more confident. I'm more.
And you were on the show before. I mean, before you left.
Yeah. I came on the show too, just like Sky. It came full circle now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't even know how to explain it. I went to Morocco one night, and like we stayed in the Sahara Desert, and like as a little kid, I've always wanted to go to Africa, and my mom would have to tell me, listen, you're probably not going to be able to go because it costs money and like it's so far away, and like you have to take a plane. But I didn't take a plane; I took a ship, which is not what we expected.
And you never expected that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know. No. So since since now that I've done that, I know I can probably do whatever I want to do in my life as long as it's productive. And
Because you've accomplished something.
yeah. And it was definitely something I've always wanted to do since I was little. So being able to do that and knowing that I did that now is just like inspiring. And really
Did you kind of check off all the countries that you were in, or?
Yeah, actually, right before I came here, I was like filling out a map of places I've been, and it's surprisingly very full now.
Isn't that
yeah,
nice?
but I want to go to more. Like after doing this, I definitely don't want to stop traveling. So I'll do more for sure.
On a ship?
Hopefully, maybe on a ship. Probably on planes, but it would be really nice to go on a ship. I definitely have.
Did you learn anything about, mastering sailing?
Yeah. One of the main things on the ship is sail training. So I know how to set a sail now, which is really cool. I know how to, for 3 days out of the year, the kids took over the ship for 24 hours, and the captain just stood by and made sure no one did anything terrible, but nothing ever bad.
Well, you're not going to run into anything,
no,
probably.
Probably not. Actually, one of the takeover days was sailing into a port, so. The captain was a 16-year-old boy, so that day. So that was but he did perfectly, and we all did a really amazing job, I think.
And what when you did you have any rough weather that you had to?
Oh yeah. The one morning at 5 a.m., I heard my friend Bella actually came into the dorms. We were all sleeping and screamed that the main preventer had snapped and that one of the sails was just going crazy. It's our biggest sail. So one of our sails was going crazy, and we had to take it down, and we had to take out all the sails and set one sail that was supposed to make the ship sturdy. And we all did that in an hour, and we all knew how to do it, which was pretty amazing. And none of us freaked out.
Team building, right?
Yeah.
Sky, what do you expect to get out of this trip? Now that you've heard this and you've heard that, and I'm sure you've had sort of a primer on it, that somebody's kind of explained all this to you, what do you think you're going to get out of this trip?
Well, I've always wanted to travel because I think that when you stay in one place your whole life, you have such a limited worldview.
Exactly. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, so I've always wanted to travel so that I could experience things that I'd never be able to experience here, learn things that I'd never be able to experience by staying, in one place. So I'm hoping this trip will really be able to enrich me as a person.
And how do you feel about sailing? I mean, it's not like you're just flying one place and popping on a plane and going to the next one. You're going to be on a ship.
Yeah.
A big one.
Yeah. It's exciting. I'm always up for learning new things and learning how to set sails and stuff. That sounds really cool. And I don't know, maybe resourceful. Maybe one day that'll come in handy.
You never know, right? And so what courses do you plan to take?
I'm taking marine biology because I want to study zoology when I come back, and I'm taking nutrition, advanced English, sociology, and psychology.
Okay, and what college or university are you thinking of attending?
Oswego.
Oswego, and how about you?
Potsdam.
Potsdam. Oh, you're going to go way up north then.
Yeah. I want to be
close to Canada. There, you're going to be up there, close there. The idea of what even brought this to your attention? I mean, this is not something I had ever heard about until Chris came on. But it was how did you find out about this? Did they solicit you, or did they put something up on the bulletin board? What happened?
Well, I was talking my guidance counselor's ear off about how I wanted to travel abroad for school and stuff. And then at the beginning of this school year, he came up to me and he was like, there's this program called Class Afloat. I want to introduce you to the guy, Chris. And so he made it happen, and I met Chris, and then just all the rest of the stuff happened.
How exciting.
Yeah.
So you do one student a year? Is that pretty much it?
Yeah, one.
Because it's an expensive program.
Yeah, and also, the students have to be special students, and I want to give some credits to Earl Barcombe, who's the guidance counselor that I work with at Schenectady High School. He just has a knack for picking out the right kind of student, because it's not any student can go. It has to be the person with the right kind of mental attitude and self-confidence.
Because everybody gone a year, pretty much.
Yeah, and it's a very different experience, and these kids have never left the country before for the most part, so it's everything's totally new. It's a lunar shot.
They have to have their passports.
I like to talk about
they have to have their their passport.
They have to have their passport, but this is the shot to the moon. I mean, for them, it really
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
And so Mr. Barcombe does a great job.
Now,
Because-
I guess one question I would have is, what if somebody is watching and said, this would be great for my kid, and I'd be glad to pay? Is that
Yeah,
something?
they just go to the Class Afloat website and sign up. It's an open school. Anybody can apply.
There's just so many spots.
There's only 60 seats each year, yeah, and you have to apply, and there's some rigor associated with the application. But anybody can apply, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go back to Megan. So, Megan, when you were on this sailing adventure, I guess I'd call it, how many countries were represented in your 60 students?
Well,
Roughly.
we actually had about 30 students. It really wasn't that full, which is crazy. But I think there was about, I want to say 10 at least.
10 different countries. So
Yeah.
you're not only visiting countries, you're also
Meeting new
learning
people.
from students that are from other countries. They may
Yeah.
not even be the countries you're going to go visit, but you're learning. So you really are expanding.
Yeah.
Sky, I can't believe you're going to do this. This is going to be
I'm really
wonderful.
And I'll add to it. I mean, there's a crew. The crew on the ship is Dutch, and they're all younger people who are selected specifically to be on a sail training school. And then there's the teachers, who are mostly Canadian teachers, but they're all adventurers to the core, and they're just very, very interesting people. So.
Well, you've been hearing about Class Afloat from Chris Tro, and we have Sky. I'm sorry, I forgot your name, Sky.
Robinson.
Yeah, Robinson. I knew that. I was thinking Harrington with the other one, and Megan Griesmer. And this is very exciting. If you want to learn more about Class Afloat, you can go to their websites to learn a little bit more about it and give these kids a hand. I'm telling you, you did some really great stuff there, going out there and doing that. We're going to take a quick break and look at Summer Night. And remember, you can go to Summer Night this coming Friday. Stay tuned.